Hello. Welcome to the daily political tarot readings here on the Black and Orange channel. Thank you for being here. It is high noon here in Chicago, and I am here, as I am 365 days of the year, to take your political questions, and I take them out of the chat. Anything in all caps is how you communicate with me, and other than that, please just type normally. People are really supportive of each other and have great conversations and what have you. So I won't get distracted, or I'll try not to. 10% of my income from everything Black and Orange goes to Feeding America at feedingamerica.org, which supplies food to food banks across the country. It's an ongoing thing. We have epic troll slayers who keep us safe, and it is because of you watching, that we have such an excellent community here. Thank you. All right, so V is saying snow. The snow is beautiful. Oh, wonderful. Okay, so it's President's Day. I didn't do presidential because I really just didn't have the time to make an overlay of all of our presidents going face palming, all of them. I didn't have the time. So we're just going with some nice roses today. Thank you, Kay. Okie dokie. Charles Gary said the GOP wished all presidents a happy President's Day except Biden. They have no class. Well, if that's what they did, then they indeed have no class. The sun is coming in and out and in and out. I'll try to see if I can do something about it. Do something about the lighting, obviously, not the sun. Was it Gomert who was saying, we'll just move the moon or move was it Gosar or Gomert? I get them mixed up. There we go. Now you can see me. Alrighty. So we're gonna jump in. Oh, and we have a little video to share today. I think that's well, it's after we get past the Trump stuff. Marjorie Traitor Greene. She just it's a campaign ad against her that needs it needs nothing. Just who's going to pay for putting it out on the air? But we'll get there. Mary Lou A is saying, I want to thank you for my beautiful flowers for my 65th birthday today. Happy birthday, Mary Lou. Happy birthday. Well, that's wonderful. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, so at 3.5 minutes in, let's just jump in, see what's going on. I did want to note on one question. Cheryl, you were asking, will Belarus, along with any other country that supports Putin's invasion, suffer sanctions along with Russia? I actually think that's a Google question. I think that they would. I think stuff like that. It would be in the news if there are going to be sanctions on Belarus and others. If you just Google this, great Google, we beseech thee for information. Yeah. So I don't know that I could help much with that. All right, but we're starting out with Trump's truthy social. Right. So we rolled out last night. Andrea Callas says we have a cold storm here in Sweden. Oh, I hope you're okay. Oh, Semper says some breaking news. Putin told Scholz and Macron that he was going to sign a decree recognizing the independence of the DNR and LNR. Oh boy. Okay. Anyway, but we're going to start with Trump's truthy social. Truth. 5 minutes in. So, in the irony of ironies, in the Orwellian war is peace, slavery is freedom, Trump's social media is named Truth. Wow. I think it's just the sheer kind of audacity. There's actually a good line in Harry Potter where later in I think it's in the last book, or it's later in the books, where Ginny says, growing up with Fred and George, I learned that sometimes a lot of things, you can do a lot of things. The quote, it just went straight out of my head. If you just have the audacity to do it, basically. If you just have the nerve to do it. So, Kristen has that too. Putin to recognize Ukraine rebel territories as independent. Also, breaking news, Russia's news agency, RIA, quotes the Kremlin as saying that Putin told Germany's Scholz and France's Macron he will sign a decree recognizing the independence of the two separatist republics in eastern Ukraine. Mel Broussard, true or false? Truth Social tells lies. True. Thank you, Pam. Oh, Putin's addressing his nation. Okay, I'm gonna walk away from that for just a minute. I know that's what's going on, but I'm gonna focus on this. Trump's Truth Social network rolled out today on President's Day. Already, it's fraught with bugs that Devin Nunes is swearing will be fixed by early March. Does the network stand a chance of being a viable option for right-wingers, or will the app crash and burn in short order? Devin Nunes is your go-to person to fix all the problems, huh? Really? Truth Social. Well, the first thing I'm getting is there is a GIF that I really like, and I can almost never find. It's a young Caucasian woman. I'd say she's like late teens, but she's walking through the kitchen, and there are obviously some people, I don't know who, but somebody's over there, and they're doing something. And as she's walking past, she's going, like, rolling her eyes, and I got that GIF jumped into my mind, because the thing is that Moranchi says, I know the one. Oh, good. That is, you're talking about social media, and you're not going to have any young people? Really? And you're going to charge $20 a person to join. Is it $20 a year? Is it a one-time fee, or is it like a monthly? Does anybody know? That's America. There's a market to be tapped. But you have to tap the market, not your crazies. Moranchi says, you even need to pay? The grift never stops. Oh, yes. Hello, Gretchen. It's Taylor B says, I'm sure the pay button's working fine. Yes. Excuse me. Excuse me. Joanne Hall says, read rules and regulations, the small print of Truth Social. Really? What's in it? Hello, Jolie. It's not going to go well. The rollout is going to be a mess. Thank you, Raji. Yeah, look at those cards, Pamela Bryant. Exactly. This is not good. This might be people coming to, but this whole True Social thing is not going to go well. But it does feel like something will come together to something's going to be. Let me not guess. I'm trying to kind of feel, but let me get clearer cards. Thank you, Cat Shepherd. Trillium Treasures is saying, just went to the Truth Social website. They say there is a waiting list. Excuse me. There's a page to get on the waiting list. Not sure if it means it's down or if that means they're harvesting email addresses. I hear you. Joanne says, basically, they gain access to your computer and they can track you. Unbelievable. Oh, Ricky, I hope you feel better. All right. It's not going to start out well. Joanne says, and a lot more. So is the address really Mar-a-Lago for the company? Marie Sutton says 45 doesn't care. I think his media company is just another venture to launder crypto. Launder money. Joanne, thank you. Yes, the address for the company is Mar-a-Lago. Oh, messages. Messages from me, Trump saying. He's excited. Trump's excited. I'm going to be back on Twitter. I'm going to have people agreeing with me. I'm going to be able to, and then the media is going to have to pay money to come to my site to listen to me. Oh, he's so excited. Lucky Girl's pointing out a publicly run company cannot compel people to give money to a political party. That's illegal. Thank you. Hello, Lucky Girl. Tisrat Mara Moscow. Okay. The company's going to tank. But that little bit of money he's getting might start looking like it's a whole lot of money. Since it is publicly traded, although they jumped through hoops to get it so it could be an IPO without by not having to go through a lot of stuff. Now that it is a public company, doesn't it have to divulge sources of its income? Ricky says, sorry, I don't want to be on a waiting list for an imbecile who throws temper tantrums. I understand. I'm with you on that one. So, is it just going to be a way to launder money? because those first cards, it was like a lot coming against King of Pentacles. Again, that Eight of Wands. Hermit. Eight of Swords. Empress. Emperor. Ace of Swords. Some kind of legal matters. There's something legal coming up here. We're going to see it. And the truth, and not truth social, truth, sort of truth, coming against the emperor. Truth social being there will not change New York coming after Trump. I'll get some people on it, but by the way, did anyone figure out how much is there any word about the $20 or well, all right, we've got a few Trump questions to go through, but we will get to. I wanted to go through some domestic policies before we get into some Ukrainian stuff. Merchant. Oh, look what a great business person I am. Secrets. Allow the childish far right to run around burning off energy. Trying to kick down liberal policies, but it's fruitless. It's just burning off energy. It's kids running around. That's it. Not literal kids, but there are alternative. This whole thing has alternate motives, whatever the word is. So I'm afraid I've got my questions for today. Sorry, but I'm back tomorrow. I'm literally here 365 days of the year. You can't get rid of me. And I take the question just before we start. So anything in the chat in all caps. Sorry. Okay. Next. Like I said, we're going to go through. Okay. Yeah, we're going to go through domestic stuff first. All right, 19 minutes in. Mazars' accountant, Donald Bender. Donald Bender, who you would think would have been on quite a few benders over the years if you had to deal with Trump. Donald Bender, also with the same first name as Trump, he was Trump's accountant at Mazars. He just took an immunity deal and turned state's evidence. So Mazars' accountant Donald Bender may hold the key on whether Trump, his three eldest children, and Allen Weisselberg get hit with federal racketeering charges. Since Bender just took an immunity deal and turned state's evidence, I guess last week, are charges about to come down? Well, there's a lot that he has to walk them through. But at the same time, I could have sworn some of these people got immunity a year ago, 2 years ago, something. Pamela Bryant says, I wonder how angry 45 will be. His accountant took immunity. I bet he's hopping mad and throwing things. Yep. And I just hiccuped in the middle of that. I'm falling apart. Actually, I'm not. I'm fine. But okay. So our charge is about to come down. Well, it's the end of the world as they know it, and I feel fine. Do you feel fine? I feel fine. You know how many laws I broke today? 0. You know how many laws I've broken in the last month? Year? Decade? Decades? 0. I don't even have a speeding ticket on my record. I got one when I was in college, and it was someone sued after I got it and proved that where I had gotten my speeding ticket, that it was a trap. And so everything was just gotten rid of. That's it. I don't have any criminal record. I don't have any speeding tickets. I don't have nothing. And you know what? I sleep just fine. I'm glad you're okay, Ricky. 9 of Cups. 5 of Swords. 10 of Swords. 6 of Cups. 8 of Pentacles. Really? Insult to injury. Oh yeah, Donald is mad, angry. But we're kind of waiting a little bit, because he's still walking them through all it's I mean, remember that pile of papers next to Trump when he was signing his tax returns? I don't think that was fake. I think he has so many shell companies inside shell companies that having to walk prosecutors through that is going to take a little bit of time. It's not a lot. This isn't like the hangman. This is just it's more than just, oh, okay, I'll come back, I'll pick you up. I've dropped you off, I'll pick you up. I'm going to go down to the garden center and look around, and I'll come back and get you. It's not quite that short, but it's more that than hanged man, total suspension. Do you know if that makes any sense? But he's walking through. He is walking them through. And what will the final outcome of all of that be? I'm not saying I'm doing anything. I'm not saying I'm better than anybody else. I'm just saying, I am. I'm saying I make better choices than Trump. That's all I'm saying. But my soul is the same as his soul. I hate to say. But my soul is the same as your soul, which is nice. All our souls are pieces of the divine. He's just making choices to lower his vibration. Lower, lower, and lower, and Joanne Hall says Hal Sparks is reading Truth Rules, etc. They're really bad. Anyone looking to join, read carefully. I like Hal Sparks. He's always seemed like a good guy, but if there's some kind of gossip I do not know of, but he's always seemed like a decent guy. Son. Everything out in the open. Also, I hate that this kind of feels a little summerish, early summerish. It's like, I want it to be early summer. Oh, thank you, Reiki. Yes, and Boo Zen Kitty does make better choices than Trump. Yes. All right. He's going to walk them through all the actions that were taken. It's bad, very, very legally bad, what they did. And then they need to prove intent. And they can do that with messages. That's what that's saying. For what it's worth, entertainment only. Joanne Hall says he's reading now online live. Oh, it's a shame I'm going to miss that. I'll have to go back. I'll have to try to find it so I can watch it on replay. You are done. It's going to take a little while. It's not going to take, like, we've been waiting for years. It's not going to be like that. But he has stuff to walk them through. Katie Arbuckle, yes, he's in the big chair of happiness. Yes. Great chair of happiness right there. And there he is. Oh, that little lump right there. That's him. Right, that white strip at the bottom right here. That's his fur. His back's cold. Oh. Is your back cold, sweetheart? Cold? There you go. There, now his back will be warm. All right. At 27, well, 28. 28. Will the unholy alliance between Trump and the GOP lead to the party's complete demise? There was a quote here: "If he bails, the party is over." And basically, in the article, it's basically saying that what might be the only thing holding the Republican Party together as existing right now is Trump, and that otherwise the Republican Party could be making no just falling apart. But just right, that's cute. Oh, thank you, Pamela. That's sweet, Deba. Purr. Purr. Okay. Linda Kingsley is saying, I pick up that he will take the waterways of eastern Ukraine and Europe, and America will pay for him to stop. No one will be happy with this deal. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. 29. 15. So, if he bails, will the unholy alliance between Trump and the GOP lead to the party's complete demise? Hard to imagine, but it wasn't always Democrats and Republicans. That's not how it always was. There have been various other parties. They just disappeared in the history of... disappeared into the mists of history. Al Menzi is saying, GQP implosion, please. Okay, one order. Actually, I think we're all going to have that. We'd all like the same. A GQP implosion, please. Yeah, we'll each have one. Separate checks. That's fine. Okay. Nine of Pentacles. Oh, yeah. No problems. We don't have problems. We're sitting pretty. We're fine. Ace of Cups. Eight of Cups. Knight of Swords. Three of Wands. Two of Wands. Rise of democratic power. Evidence gathered. Aggressive law enforcement. On the far right, hoping that things they've done will pay off to save them, basically. Communications, to kind of frantic communications to try to save themselves, but it's the communications that could really sink them. So, what will happen to the Republican Party? Stress says, I'll have what Autumn's having. Waiter. Garçon. What will happen to the Republican Party? And I've got a partnership between liberal-minded people. Okay, this is not looking great for them right now. Not exactly far-right victory cards. Yeah. Sword of Truth. And not Truth Social. Sword of Truth, whole different thing. 10 of, okay. All right, Republicans. You're about to go through some things. Just saying. Thank you, Katie Arbuckle. Yes, the other parties were Whigs with an H, WHIGS, Federalists, Independents, and Democrat Republicans. Yes. Jolia says those cards are speaking volumes. I like it. Yep. Holly and friends, please don't ever refer to a waiter in France as garçon. It means boy. Oh, I wouldn't do it in person. It was a very bad joke. Sorry. I apologize. Menzi says, I like the no-name party. Yeah. The know-nothing party was good. And true, I believe, Monsieur? Yes. Yeah, in person I'd be like, Monsieur. Yes. Holly and friends, I don't know what that abbreviation means right off the top of my head. Is that an I or an L? It's hard to tell in this font. Oh, boy. Okay. Holly and friends says, I know you wouldn't, but there are still people who would. Okay. True. I'm sorry. I've got my questions for today, but I take questions every day. Political questions only, but I take them out of the chat just before I start. And so it was a typo. 34. I don't know that I can add much here, but Kristen of Uncover the News has been asking this question. So, okay, Kristen has done so much for us. I will give it a try. I will see what I can do with this question. Yeah, Mel Broussard says, GOP, giddy over Putin. Yes. All right, so Kristen's question was, if Trump was still president, would he invade Canada after the events of the Trucker Convoy Emergency Act? Would the GOP and media make up propaganda about Canada's socialism to make his point? Some media would. But if he was still president, there would probably still be fighting over the shenanigans that had happened, because he wouldn't have the mandate to unilaterally attack. He wouldn't have he wouldn't have the power or the public mandate to attack Canada. And I can't believe I'm saying those words. Why would anyone attack Canada? It's like the nicest people. Mel Precise says, well, Trump did want to buy Greenland. But he wanted to buy Greenland for himself. Oh my gosh. So, the Orange Fuhrer have tried to invade Canada. I'm sorry. I'm just getting this whole thing of Trump. He wouldn't lead the way, but let's pretend he would. Leading the way, entering and being there, and soldiers, what have you. And the Canadians are just like, hi. But yes, I understand what you mean about the trucker thing. Oh, talk about a dystopian nightmare. There would be all kind of far-right garbage. It'd still have a platform. Ugh. Okay. 4 of Pentacles, 3 of Swords, Emperor, Ace of Cups. No. No. Part of it is that's a foreign country. And he's too lazy to want to bother invading a foreign country. Keep people out, maybe. Keep people out of the southern border, of course. But plenty of Canadians are white, so he's so awful. Kristen says Trump hates Trudeau. He does. Because Trudeau's about 400 times more attractive in every way. I'm not saying Trudeau's a perfect person. He's not my type. But I have eyes. I can see the man has symmetrical features and is, he's a good-looking guy. Trump would still have executive time. Ricky's saying Trump hates anyone who doesn't have $1 in their pocket. Trump hates anyone who doesn't have $1 they're going to put in his pocket. Insult to injury. It would be a nightmare. But Tower, Judgment, King of Cups. This would be the state of America. This would be Trudeau up in Canada, just being like, I'm not, Trump is too lazy. And because he would expect the truckers to ramp themselves up to keep things going, to overthrow Canada, the Canadian government. Overthrow Canada? Where did that come from? Overthrow the Canadian government. I ask myself, Trudeau, I've read on him many times. If he was, he's easy on the eyes, but I'm just asking myself. This has nothing to do with the readings. Just asking myself, if I was okay, I am single. If he was single, would I date him? I don't think so. I don't think so. But yeah, first of all, I'm a card reader. That wouldn't go so well. But no. Nope. He's got a hard edge in him. That's why he survived as long as he has in politics. But I'm a sensitive little thing. Linda Sue says, good looks have a root in good physical health. And, well, inner goodness could be. He's a politician, though. Remember, I read on politicians all the time. I don't have a whole lot of... I can see the foibles. Let's put it that way. Joanne says Trudeau is gorgeous, Obama is gorgeous, Macron is gorgeous. Yep. I'd go with that. Nuclear Magenta says he's also the son of a politician. Sharon Stipe says that's a big no. Kim Larson says I'd date him in a heartbeat. Cool. Diane B says Trudeau. Oh my, OMG. Yes. We become silly sometimes, trying to raise the energy back up, and then we go back down into the muck. So between readings, if I'm suddenly talking about complete silliness, you know why. It's also why I do the overlays and the matchy match and yeah. Anyway. C. Johnson says, I'm a Trudeau fan. The job of prime minister is not always easy. Oh, seriously, he's made it this far. That's pretty impressive. So, all right. Linda Sandoval says, I agree, a very big no. GM Dave says, you have good sense. Thank you. Well, all right. Let me get back to this. Like I said yesterday, the only goose... What was it yesterday? Something about authoritarianism in Canada. The only goose stepping going on in Canada is from the actual geese. So, all right, 43:30. Oh, it's time for our little video of the day. Ready? We have a little multimedia experience today. Oh, technically, this is a multimedia experience, and it's very meta. It's a multimedia experience inside a multimedia experience. You got to hear this. I'm going to mute myself so you can make sure you can hear that.
And it just bothers me so much. They treat me as if I'm some kind of crazy person, or like I have three horns coming out of my head. But what they don't understand is they're the ones that are crazy, and they're the ones that are so disconnected.
Well, that's the gaslighting that they're engaged in. I mean, if you look at it, the trends worldwide are to populism and the people, not even about conservative or liberal. And deep down, they know that. They're trying to gaslight us. At least the controllers at the top are. But I think the average leftist, I agree with you, actually does think you've got 5 heads or I've got 6 heads, and that they actually believe their own BS.
I think they do too. And I tell you why. I think they're really scared of the American people, because here's what they do know. They know that if the American people actually woke up from the dream that they're living in, the so-called American dream, where it's more like entertainment at like Roman games or something like that.
The American dream is entertainment like Roman games. Lady,
And it just bothers me so much. They treat me as if I'm some kind of crazy person, or like I have 3 horns coming out of my head. But what they don't understand is they're the ones that are crazy.
And that, my friends, is going to be an ad. That right there is going to be an ad against her. Nothing else needed. Nothing else. Unbelievable. So, had to share that. Trying to work this out here in a second. The cloud covers are now gotten thoroughly. This is with the light on. So, hang on. So Marjorie Traitor Greene. There, that'll work. So Marjorie Traitor Greene. I'm not the character. They think I'm a crazy person. They think I have 3 horns coming out of my head. What they don't realize is they're the crazy people. She's still here? Okay. So, Marjorie Traitor Greene. Revolution Ricky saying that woman is about 4 quarts short of a full oil change. Yes. Linda Kingsley says she's scary. Yes. Yes, she is crazy. Unbelievable. All right. So, Moranchi says, she sounds so much like an edgy teenage girl. I'm not like the rest of you. Mm-hmm. Crazy person. What they don't realize is they're the crazy people. I can't get over that. That's just crazy talk. That's just scary. That's just, lady, I read tarot cards on YouTube. In the wider world, this does not give me a ton of credibility. However, this is my spiritual practice, and you guys know how I feel about it. But let me tell you, I've had a lot of therapy in my life, and I have many therapists who will tell you I'm actually quite sane. I know what's real. I know what's not real. I'm not paranoid. I'm not delusional. That's paranoia. But just because you offend a whole bunch of people and they're mad at you, doesn't mean they actually aren't out to get you out of office. Actually, the Kingsley says, so have I. The thief. Ace of Wands, far right action, 5 of Pentacles. I wonder how much money she's still raking in, because she was a powerhouse raking in far right money for a while. I wonder if she still is. Oh, boy. Republicans out in the cold. She thinks that These far-right actions, she can still get away with them. She thinks it's the Republicans, the normal sort of more moderate Republicans who are going to be the ones suffering. But she's not going to work with anybody. She's not going to answer any questions. She's not, because she's special. This is the star card. This is one of the cards that I draw clothes on. So let's imagine a naked woman walking out to a pond and pouring water in it with one hand and pouring water on the ground with the other. Does that strike you as something that the average person would do out of absolute sanity? Wouldn't you look askance after you looked away? She's special. She's special. She's not going to do, it's these moderate, ridiculous Republicans, because she's special. Quinoa 52 is saying, because only sane people make political advertisements with firearms. Diane B, because I do not want to risk being demonetized. And there have been times when YouTube was getting really funny about the whole demonetization thing. That and the fact I'm just trying to keep the energy up as high as possible. But I'm an art history major, or at least I was, and I have no problem with nudity in art, just not on my YouTube channel. So, Rob D says, Marjorie Traitor Greene saying, I'm going to declare my sanity on the Alex Jones show. All right, well, you were definitely special. So you are unique. Yes. Oh, V, I'm sorry. I hope you find a good apartment you really like. All right, so what's going to happen to you? Because yes, you obviously think you're special, but what's going to happen to you? She's definitely found her own path in politics. That's true. Ace of Wands, Five of Pentacles, Judgment, Four of Swords, Five of Pentacles. Oh, she's going to get sucked right into that. See, she still thinks she's special. She can act. And those wussy moderates, they don't understand. But when does she come up for re-election? Because this can be judgment, could be January 6th committee, could be DOJ, could be that kind of judgment. It could also be, this is my card, the card that comes up for election days. And this is silence. As in, maybe she's not in office anymore. But she definitely is going to get sucked into all the far right when all of November, this November, you say. Ooh, okay. Because she is going to get sucked in all the January 6th, everyone pointing fingers at each other and how dare you hold us accountable for our actions? How dare you? Me being held accountable for my actions. Pshaw. Wow. Okay. Okay, we're going to step away from that kind of crazy. 55. Interesting. McConnell. McConnell's changed his tune. And yes, we are going to get to Ukraine. We are going to get to Ukraine questions. Oh, interesting. All right, Mimi Rose, I'll make a note of that. Actually, I'll make a note of that right now. Talk amongst yourselves. Okay. Tempo. Someone married that? Yeah. Okay. So McConnell at 56. McConnell has changed his tune and condemned the insurrection. He has learned that the January 6th committee has irrefutable evidence of the many lawmakers who participated. Oh, has he learned that the January 6th committee has irrefutable evidence of the many lawmakers who participated? Is that why he's pivoting now? Oh, so he's back to condemning the insurrection again, huh? Well, the main thing to always remember about McConnell is the most important thing in the whole world, whole McConnell world, is McConnell. His power. So, Moscow Midge, changing your tune, huh? Why? Oh boy. Menzi says they flip-flop more than fish out of water. McConnell energy. Those longtime viewers know that I have a very basic test when it comes to politicians and these people I read on in general, and that is, if I was stuck in an elevator with them, would I feel safe? That's how low the bar is when it comes to all of these people I read on. There are quite a few who would be like, absolutely. It feels like Schumer would be a laugh. Pelosi, we would not be there long. And I know that we don't have flip phones anymore, but the mental image I get is her just phone open. All right, do this, take care of this. This is where this is happening. And like 8 minutes later, doors being prized open. Trump? I'd be terrified. I'm serious. I would be backed up against him, away from him. I wouldn't be like trying to show weakness, because I'd be trying to show strength, but I would keep out of reach of him as much as possible. McConnell, I think I'd be physically safe. His energy would just be so gross. It'd be like evil Pigpen, where you're just nearby and it's just the gunk. Like, I'd get out of the elevator and be like, ew, I don't even know if I can wash this shirt. I might have to throw it away. So, McConnell, why are you changing your tune? Kimo says, I'd be nauseous from the smell of bronzer and hairspray. Oh, yeah. Smell of hairspray. Whew. Jim Dave says, I wouldn't let anyone be alone with Trump. Good idea. Wheel of Fortune. Oh, McConnell, you've seen things turning, have you? You don't say. I wish I had a rose that looked like this. It's lovely. Anyway. Insult to injury. Ten of Cups, Page of Swords, Ace of Pentacles, Four of Swords. It's the money. Trump is raising whole bunches of money and he is not sharing it with Republicans. So money that could be going to the senators who would get Mitchie back into power as majority leader in the Senate, that money is going to Trump, who's paying for, is it his re-election committee offices in Trump Tower? Only there's nobody there, but it's $37,000 a month or something crazy. It's the money. Plus, he's fed up with Trump's selfishness, bullying, pot, kettle, black. Insult to injury. McConnell feels like he put up with a lot. I don't care. But Democrats won. Trump's a bully. McConnell wants his power back. Which means if where the money goes is where the power is going to go. But the thing is that with the insurrection, yes, you can go nail Trump for that, hopefully. But there are a lot of Republicans who will get hit in the crossfire. That might not be good for you, Mitch. Yeah, if people are going up the river for corruption, for sedition, for helping seditionists, helping an insurrection. Oh, Floating Lotus Women's Wellness says those lavender roses are called ocean rose. Ooh, really? Ocean. That I'm writing down. Ocean rose. I will check that out. Thank you. So, also sterling silver roses. Oh, nice. Well, Mitch, 3 more cards because you don't deserve more than that. What's the deal? What's the deal? Oh, Floating List says I had them at my second wedding. Oh, that's lovely. They're gorgeous. King of Pentacles. I want my power back. I want my power back. Jeez. Mitch, decaf. Seriously. I mean, you just touch on the energy and it's just like, whoa. Decaf. 7 of Cups, 8 of Swords, Temperance. He knows that there are some Republicans who are going to end up in trouble, but he's hoping they can all spin it. It's all Pelosi's fault for not protecting it. What? He's expecting we'll get people off. Well, they won't be really held accountable. It'll be a little minor arcana thing, but we need to get Trump out of here so I can have the power. Please. Floating Lotus says the roses lasted almost as long as the marriage. Sterling silver rose. I've told this before, but I still find it funny. There's one of those, Dear Abby, agony aunt kind of things. And apparently this groom was just furious because he was at the reception for his second marriage. His best man got up to give the toast and said, "Welcome back." And the bride thought it was hysterical. She was laughing. And if the bride's laughing, you're good. But the groom was furious. welcome back. I know. All right. White Dragon has a question, and then we're going to Ukraine. $105.30. Will there be a civil war in the near future due to Republican troublemaking? Let me have a look. Grandma Rose's homestead is saying, as a generality, the roses are Old English roses or David Austin roses. Nice. All right, all right, all right. Really? Far right, you're really gonna... Oh! I had a card. I was past it, and there was a card that jumped out on the center card, like, I want to be here. Oh, man. Yeah, we're gonna talk about Ukraine after this, right here. Will there be civil war? Republicans are losing power because demographic changes and, I don't know, basic cruelty. Plus, I hate to say this, we're waiting for the Supreme Court to rule on the Mississippi law and what have you. It's going to be ugly. It is. And that's going to drive a lot of people to the polls. So, Joanne is saying Zelensky of Ukraine is pretty cute too. Yeah. We'll talk about that. I'll remind you guys of the Colbert bit he did on Zelensky. It was quite cute. 10 of wands, 5 of cups, 2 cards in the middle, Empress, it's America, and a card of being incomplete, of evidence being gathered, but also still gathering. It's not finished. There's a big gap. Effort, night and day. Ace of Wands would be a single action. These are not Civil War cards. They're really not. They're just not. We have some so fun, astrological stuff in our future years down the road, but this is not lone actors, unfortunately. Republican politicians who should know better. Yeah, we've already got that. But they're burdened by what has happened, what being held accountable, what's the evidence that's been gathered about what they've done. They keep trying to kick down democratic ideas, but those aren't Civil War. Oh, I understand. Shockwave. Shockwave is saying Texas seems to be pushing for a civil war. Abbott trying to pit people against one another. I understand, but Texas is not actually quite the stronghold he wishes it was. But anyway, all right. 110. Let's go deal with Ukrainian stuff. All right, I'm going to move this up. I'm going to start with Linda's question here, Linda Johnson's question, and then we'll read on the other Ukrainian stuff, like the new stuff. Uncover the news. Putin says he's ready to show Ukraine what real decommunization means. What? Joe and Mara, who is your type? Oh dear, that's embarrassing. Well, I don't want to say. I don't want to say just because I'll look foolish. I would like someone artistic. I need somebody. I need somebody whose astrology really works with mine. So they're going to have a chunk of water in their chart. They're going to have some Gemini and maybe some Sagittarius, but yeah. Lucky Girl says decommunization is the process of dismantling the legacies of communist state establishments, culture, and psychology in the post-communist countries. Ukrainian, yeah, but you, okay, so basically it's just saying that because Ukraine isn't communist. Okay, am I trying to actually use some logic where I really should? Yeah. Okay. There. That's better. This is going to be ugly. All right, let's do this. Linda Johnson's question is, has Russia already moved in troops to the Ukraine capital undercover, dressed in civilian clothing, to claim the civilian they can claim the civilian population as they rise up against their own governments? Putin's still addressing the nation? Oh, jeez. He's one of those politicians, huh? Less is more, Vlad. Less is more. Here. Let me do the translation of what he should be saying. Russian people. This is the translator. Russian people. I want to invade Ukraine for fits and giggles. And they have natural resources. And I want it. The precious. So I am invading Ukraine. And that's the end of it. Good night. There. That was a translation. So has Russia already moved soldiers and pretending to be, because what he did in Crimea was he sent soldiers in, but without any markings. It was intimidation, but not in a way that somebody could go, hey, in theory. Thank you, Kristen. Uncover the news saying just in, Russian ruble tumbles below 80 to the US dollar. On Forex market, says Putin addresses the nation. Oh. Thank you, Pamela Bryant. Thank you, Jolie. Oh boy. That's the Ukrainian people are not going. They're not going to be like, oh, okay, no. Thank you, Kristen. Aaron Parnas tweeted, this speech by Putin does not sound like he's just recognizing LPR, DPR. It sounds like he's preparing for a complete invasion of Ukraine. Yeah. Oh, Putin accuses Ukraine of stealing gas from Russia. Used energy to blackmail Moscow. Good Google piece. I'm glad I could make somebody laugh. That makes me happy. Yes, Joanne, he's trying to intimidate them on a daily basis, hoping they'll give up. It's KGB. Yeah, psychological warfare. And then real warfare. Chariot. Two of Cups, Page of Pentacles, Seven of Swords, Page of Wands. He's doing every sneaky kind of thing you can imagine. Friend Urbina says, I see you with a gentleman like James Bond. There were certainly qualities like that in my ex-husband. He was English. He had a home counties accent. Slim, very good looking. Yeah. But there's more than that. Okay, Chariot. This energy's awful. This energy's awful. Putin's claiming Ukraine is seeking to build its own nuclear weapons, and that this is not just bravado. He says it will be easy for Ukraine to acquire tactical nuclear weapons, especially with support from abroad. Blah, 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 blah. Semper says it was weird. It also wasn't recorded live, so someone got a look at one of them's watch. It was set 5 hours prior to when they claimed it was live. Oh, I missed what the first part of that was, but it's not in all caps, so I was might be getting involved in something I shouldn't have. All right. $118. I mean, really what we're looking at here is invasion of Ukraine. Do I want to do an extended? I should do an extended reading. That's kind of what I'm here to do. Oh, this is going to hurt. Thank you, Donna. This is going to hurt, but that's what I'm here to do. Spiro Agnew's ghost tweeted, Putin sounds like a Hitler-level madman in his speech, like he's completely lost his mind. It's scary as blank. If Biden and allies do not dramatically sanction him and his puppet cronies and oligarchs who hold a lot of his funds, it's a very grave error on many different levels. Yeah, okay, yep. Linda Kingsley says he also wants the semiconductor chip manufacturing in Ukraine. Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Because it's already started. All right. Oh, this is going to hurt. Russia's invasion of Ukraine. After this, I'm cuddling the kitty. Invasion of Ukraine. Ukrainians are not going to make it easy for him. It's a burden they're going to shoulder. Oh, they're not going to. This is not going to be like 2014. In the past, they were just trucking along, trying to get their economy going, trying to live their lives, building their semiconductor manufacturing capabilities and whatnot. Center of the reading, money. That could be the West sanctioning Putin and his oligarchs. It could be Putin wanting the natural resources in Ukraine. Yeah, it's money. Above the reading, NATO's watching. This is the stories Putin's telling, which are false. Oh, it's genocide by the Ukrainians of the Russian people inside their borders. No, there's not. You're lying. Base of the reading. Bully with a plan. You are a very small, pathetic, sad excuse of a human being. Home environment. Well, the sanctions haven't kicked in yet. The fighting back. So right now, Putin thinks he's just going to waltz in. Nobody's going to get in his way. Hopes and fears. I've got 2 cards. Yeah. Hopes and fears. Hope, temperance. Fear, death. What other people see? People sneaking in with weapons, refugees trying to get out of the way. It's a lot of displacement and upset and tumult. And the challenge, the sheer size of Putin's military. Really? Russia's military, you're going to go in, what? You're going to shoot Ukrainian children? Is that what you're going to do too? Because they're protecting their homeland. Is that grandmothers? You're gonna shoot? Yeah, really? Why? All right, near future 1 and 2. Oh, he's been offered so much to not do this. The leaders from Europe have come and sat at that stupidly long table for him. I love the GIF where somebody put that on a swivel, so the table's actually like a seesaw with them going up and down. It takes a little to amuse me. He's been offered so much. Near future 2. Sanctions, that's the warning. Or maybe about to happen. Final outcome 1, 2, and 3. 3 of Swords. Ace of Cups. That's not a happy Ace of Cups. And the Thief. Well, good news. If there's any good news, it's Minor Arcana. It's ugly. It's ugly. The only good thing is I don't have Death Tower, Death Tower Chariot, but it's still a whole lot of pain, a whole lot of crying, a whole lot of Putin stealing what doesn't belong to him. Foot by foot. Sunpress is saying, y'all, this election in November just became a million times more critical and important. Yes. Catherine Bennett saying, oh my dear Lord, my heart is breaking for Ukraine. Yes. Jim Dave says self-defense is not a threat to anyone but an aggressor. All right, so take a minute. And let's just remember that our souls are small pieces of the divine. We are all special. We are all equal. We are all important. And we are all loved. And we don't have to beg or jump through hoops. We just say, Divine Spirit, fill the world with your divine energy. Just pour divine energy into the whole world. Every part of it, every person, every tree, animal, even inanimate objects. Just pour your divine energy into absolutely everything, raising the vibration of all of the world, all of the earth, and everyone inside of it. Fill us with your divine energy until we are overflowing with it. Higher and higher vibration in all the world, for peace, for understanding, for kindness, for compassion. So people can feel the connection between them, feel compassion for each other, act in kindness. Things of lower vibrations fall apart, don't work, because all the world becomes a place of higher and higher vibration. Every moment, higher and higher, closer to the divine, full in all the world, and especially in Ukraine right now. Ukraine and Russia, higher and higher and higher vibration, so the aggressors realize what they're doing, can feel their connection with all of humankind, and want peace. Okay. Catherine Bennett, it won't. It won't. Good kitty. Bless you. Okay. Okay. So, let me see here. Four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You know what? Let's just do this one last question, and I'll take some of these other questions to tomorrow. At 1:30. Congress seems to actually be working together to come up with a workable spending bill before the March 11th deadline. That's kind of shocking. Oh, Maria, good luck out there. Maria is going to early voting here in Texas. Excellent. All right, so Congress seems to actually be working together to come up with a workable spending bill. It's kind of shocking. Is the current bipartisanship being shown too good to last? Congress seems to actually be working together to come up with a workable spending bill. There's actual bipartisanship in Congress. Okay. Actual bipartisanship in Congress? I'm shocked, but pleased. Hey. I know some people are just tired. They're exhausted by the constant bickering and fighting and unwillingness to work. Some people to work with others. Extremism. Oh, and that whole thing where, I don't know, a mob tried to kill them. Gets old. People, and the media's talking like, oh my gosh, it's so terrible. So many people aren't running for re-election. There was a mob. There are people who have PTSD. They were huddled in rooms, afraid for their lives. They get constant death threats. Of course they don't want the job anymore. Hey, nice little Saturday at the garden center where you see your neighbors. Hey, neighbor. Those ocean rose or sterling silver roses are lovely this year, aren't they? Oh, see, John's. Big hug. Queen of Pentacles. Empress. Seven of Cups. Seven of Swords. Temperance. Oh, there's still a lot of ickiness. But you do have some people who are they just want to do their jobs and go home. There'll still be some people bickering and fighting and being and you know, but anyway. I think there is at least among moderate Republicans, I think there is more of a feeling of, I'm tired of this. Yeah. Kristen's saying just in, Biden meets privately with national security team on the Russia-Ukraine crisis. All right, so at 1:34, what's going to happen now in the whole Russia-Ukraine thing? What is NATO going to do now? Or just what's going to happen now? What's going to happen now? So, what's going to happen now? Biden's meeting with his national security team. Putin's given sounds like some crazy ramblings. Suburban housewife says sterling roses are beautiful and have an amazing aroma. However, they do not seem to repel narcissists. I had them at my first and second weddings. Knight of Wands. Well, that would be an aggressor on his horse. Oh, Scotia Sweetie. Hey, it's been a minute. The biggest eye roll about Putin playing Russia's the victim line. Oh, yeah. King of Wands. 9 of Swords. 10 of Wands. Hermit. Wheel of Fortune. This is burden. This is worry, burden. It isn't just scrutiny. It's a being out in the cold, but in a way that has to do. I think we're talking sanctions. We're talking big sanctions, cyber attacks. We're talking about they're gonna ruin Putin's day. That's what it feels like. The wheel will turn. They're not going to go lightly on this. The West isn't going to go lightly. They're not going to. It doesn't feel. They're pulling their punches in the sense of they don't want to go sink a lot of troops into that. Whether they should or not is a whole different discussion. Any discussion. Don't come for me. It's not what I'm talking about. But it doesn't feel it feels like what the West is going to do is not going to be wussy. Has Biden made it clear what the red line is? What define an invasion? Make it very clear. Is it just whatever it is? Is it what? Nail it down. What is that line? Is this it? Is it saying it's recognizing these separatists? Is that the red line? What it is, but nail it down. And you will quickly have him playing with that line. And if he goes anywhere near it, I'm hoping London does the right thing and says, okay, Russians, you're done. All of your money that we have, sorry, your password is not being accepted. Sanctions. 3 of Pentacles. Illegal, just silencing. Queen of Pentacles there. Magician. 6 of Swords. Okay, that's where we're headed. The only good news here is that, again, I'm not saying it's going to be nice, but I'm not, yes, Catherine Bennett, this is madness, but I'm not getting, if Putin wanted to, and thank heavens he doesn't want to, I hate to even put this out there, but if Putin wanted to, he could commit atrocities and war crimes and wipe the Ukrainian people off the face of the map. But that's not what I'm picking up on. But it's not going to be pleasant. It's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be bloodless. But at least for what little it's worth. That's what I'm getting. So anyway, I'll leave it there for today. Thank you for joining me with this. I do hate going into this energy, especially when I'm by myself. But thank you. Thank you. All right, so keep praying. Keep sending up your positive energy, sending out your positive energy, calling down divine energy on the people of Ukraine and the whole world, so that people finally realize we are all connected. We are all one. All right. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. It is 1:42 here in Chicago. In about 2 hours, 2.25 hours, I'll be over on Book Art Media to do creative sprints for the day. Link to that is in the description. All right. Other than that, I will be right back here tomorrow. Take care. Thank you for everything. All right. And don't forget, as hard as things look right now, there are good days ahead. There are. Take care.